All right, axes. I got a new box of peanuts today from Liam Hoffman Blacksmithing. It's my first axe from Liam Hoffman. It's a custom, well, semi-custom. It's a farm axe. It's about a 4.5 pound, 4.25 pound head on it. This thing is a monster. So I've been wanting this for a very long time, one of Liam's axes, and this one in particular. I bought some land many years ago that had it was forested, so it was very inexpensive at the time, and I wanted to have a nice custom axe, something to kind of pass down, and I've always liked the idea of custom or handmade tools, anything handmade, really. So this is the creme de la creme for me. So just kind of first impressions of it. I've already opened the box right before the video and then pulled it out just to get a glance at it. However, the sheath on it is immaculate. Everything is blended perfectly together. It doesn't feel like a bunch of different pieces of leather. They did that very well. It's well taken care of. Solid screws. Nothing is loose on this whatsoever. So that's very, very nice. Just going to close that. And then here's the axe itself. The farm axe. I got the, I think they're called phantom bevels on it. So not necessarily sharpened, even though it might sound sharp. But it is not sharpened to a point on these phantom bevels. I mean, you definitely could if you really wanted to. It would just make it super brittle. The axe head itself is, I mean, I could very easily slice paper on it. Before the video, I shaved hair off the back of my arm just to show the lady. The handle is thinner than I was thinking it was going to be, with as big as the axe head is itself. I thought it was going to be a little bit thicker, but I did read and do a little bit of prior research on it, and seen that Liam likes to use thin handles like it was traditionally done. And I think the comments about it were something regarding the transfer of kinetic energy and the thinner handle being a little bit easier on your hands or something. Anyways, the only thing that I have to compare it to is kind of an apples to oranges comparison, but it's a Gransfors Bruks small forest axe. And this is a well-loved and used one, because I don't really intend on having any tools that I'm not going to use. And it has some chips in the blade that you might be able to see a little bit. Very mildly around my fingertip here, just ever so slightly. The handle, of course, is used and well loved, as you might be able to tell. Apples to oranges, because even though this is handmade completely in America, I think it's in, is it Tennessee, maybe? Anyways, and this is in Sweden. The steels on it are different, and it's one of the reasons that I wanted to use Liam's tools over at the Gransfors Bruks anyways, is that Liam's tool, I think it's 4140 chrome moly steel, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. If so, please put a comment down below and let me know. But the steel on it is a little better for edge retention. It's a little bit more solid than something like a 1050, 1055 kind of thing. Or even a 1040. I can't remember off the top of my head what the Gransfors Bruks is. I know it's a carbon steel that's on the softer side. So 1040 or 1050, something along those lines. I have some knives that are made out of comparable materials that are much older. However, they are definitely prone to some issues over time, and this is actually rather dull now. Just some comparisons, even though, again, it's not equal on any means. The Liam here on the right does not use a metal wedge or a steel wedge, as you can see that the Gransfors Bruks is using in this. I don't even know if this is something that they're still doing, because I don't know how necessary it is. At the time when I got it, I just thought, oh, steel wedge means more reinforcement. But I think they've actually kind of found out that it does, and it doesn't. It might just be more of a visual, like a placebo effect than anything. Me just looking at some of the quality, just some of the marks of it. Again, this is in an older Gransfors. It's probably, I don't know, 6-7 years old. The head has been strong ever since I've gotten it. I haven't had to replace the handle. This is the original handle. I've had it swimming in boiled linseed oil for a little while when I first got it. This is exactly how it came. I've sharpened it a couple of times. The sheath on it, that comes from a Gransfors, and again, price point wise, and not again, I didn't mention it yet. Price point wise, the small forest axe here is, I think when I got it, it was around the $180 ballpark. It's probably about $200 now. The sheath that it comes in has, it covers the blade like so and then wraps around the back of the head, which I like. The Liam does not come with the little bikini strap to go around the back of the head, but it doesn't really need it either, just because of how, I guess, just how it's designed in general, and with how beefy this blade is. I mean, I'm 6.5 foot tall with huge hands, and I mean, it's just a huge axe head. It feels great for me for sure. I'll be able to swing this for a little while, and surprisingly light. But anyways, you could just tell by looking at the quality difference of the sheaths, again with time on it, time in use on this one versus this being brand new. Just if you look at the welts on both of them. On the Gransfors Bruks here at the bottom, I mean, it's obviously fading, but it just in a little bit of use over time, it's the inner welt is just, it looks, you can tell it's 3 different pieces of leather, just based on like everything being kind of out of alignment, kind of out of whack, and the blade kind of punches through a little bit on this, more on the inside, but the way that it's set up is that when it punches through, it hits the insides of these like Chicago screws, or actually they're not even Chicago screws, the inside of these screws, and it kind of dulls the blade out, which is I think where the chipping is coming from. Where on the Liam, how it does have these very large screws going through that they're actually Chicago screws, if I'm not mistaken. That welt on it is significantly thicker. It's almost the thickness of the entire sheath on the Gransfors Bruks. If you just look at the little black welt on the inside versus this whole thing, it's almost the same thickness. It's crazy. Granted, again, you would definitely need it for something as beefy as this, a 4.5 pound head versus a 1.5 pound head. So just a little size comparison. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, the small forest axe isn't even, the head is not even big enough to cover the inner dark part of this one here, of the farm axe. So I'm not going to have this in a video right now of me swinging it on anything. That land that I was talking about that I wanted to purchase this axe for has been long sold. So this is more of a like a heritage passed down purpose thing for me than anything. Just another custom tool to add to the collection that'll be used over time, but probably not for the next several months. So just a little bit more roll of it. I'm just looking at the different aspects of it. Now this ran me a hair over 500, so it is a very expensive axe. Justifiably so, I think. It's what it's worth to me. Liam's axes are regarded among the internet and YouTube land as being very extremely high quality and sought after. And they have a crazy secondhand market for these too, where you can get pretty much exactly what you paid for some of these axes from what I was seeing, which actually kept me from buying them for a long time, was because of scalpers. But that is much decreased, or significantly decreased over time. So thankful for that as well. I have the 32-inch curved handle on it. Again, I'm 6.5 foot tall. This is the largest handle that they made. I have the bulb end on it, which again, having extra large hands or wearing XL, 2XL size gloves, that'll be great for me. If I was to choke up on the top up here, I don't have any concerns about the bottom of this phantom bevel cutting me, even though it could appear like it's going to be a slicer. It's really not sharp until it gets like to the last half inch here. Just some common sense stuff, but through the pictures, it was hard for me to dictate that it was actually not sharp up here until you get next to the tip and at the bottom next to the tip. On first look and looking on the website, when I was actually building the axe on their website, I was like, wait, if I have my hand here and then I slide up, I don't want to cut my damn finger off. Well, it doesn't do that. That was me being an idiot. And here's a little close-up of the stamp, LH for Liam Hoffman. So that's it. Just wanted to showcase it a bit. There wasn't a whole lot of videos kind of showing some close-ups of it, or just some useless rambling, which is what I tend to do and go for when I'm looking up videos, especially if I'm going to be dropping lots of money on something potentially custom. I want to see all the content that I can about it, to see all the detailed stuff that I can, all the close-ups, be able to see if that money is going to be well spent or not. To me, this definitely, again, is well spent. And I'll probably go for some other Liam axes in the future. Now, do I think you should get one? Well, that depends entirely on what you want to get it for. If it's going to be a pass-down sort of tool, and, well, if it's going to be something you use, I would go for it. Just for the sake, if you were to get a $200 to $250 Gransfors Bruks, not even a small forest, if you were to go to Scandinavian forest, which is a little bit longer and I want to say like a 1/4 pound heavier of a head, or even the American felling axe, which is still not even the size of this one. I think that's like, I don't know, 3.5 or 4 pound head on it, and I think this is 4.5, so it adds another pound to a pound and a half on it, which is crazy. Even with all that, and I had an American felling axe from Gransfors Bruks before, I ended up returning it just because the handle was a little jacked up on it. And then it made me think about all the quality aspects of it. It's like, if the handle's jacked up, then what do they do to the head? Or is it a great head on a crappy stick? So if it was up to me to do it and I was just going to buy one axe and like bushcraft in it or go camping in it or something like that, I mean, the farm axe is huge. For somebody like me, I think that would be a cool thing to bring along. However, if it was a one axe to rule them all backpacking thing, I'd probably go Scandinavian forest, just a little cheap beater. And it's not even cheap, which is funny because it's $250. But the farm axe itself, I don't think I'd one axe the farm axe. I would, it's more of I'd have a beater and then I'd have that thing, which is just a very, very pretty tool that I will beat the crap out of eventually. But anyways, that's enough of my rambling. I just wanted to show the last thing that this came with was a Liam Hoffman blacksmithing sticker. It came with this book here. It shows Liam, made in America. Back of it has his anvil. It says Lobdell in Wilmington, Delaware, which is, I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and that's actually where this video is being made right now. It says my farm axe was made November 2025. It's got a little wax stamp on it, which is nice, with his signature. Nothing on the back of that certificate of authenticity page. It says their mission here. If you can, there we go, fixate on it. I didn't scan the QR codes, but it just says for Facebook and Instagram. It says Liam Hoffman is committed to producing the best axe you can buy. Everything created at Hoffman Blacksmithing is handmade using hard work and passion for excellence. Combining skills in design, forging, and metallurgy, woodworking, and leathercraft, we make legacy tools to last generations. We proudly stand behind our work with a lifetime warranty. And then he's got a little caring for your axe thing here on the back. If you care about it, you can pause it, take a peek. But yeah, as a legacy tool, which I should have read this first because I would have used that terminology more, I would definitely get one of these again. And I probably will get another one that's a little bit around the small forest axe size. And then I'll have two Hoffmans. And I don't know. This is... yeah, I definitely like it. I like both of them. Gransfors, I like Bruks and Hultafors and all the Swedish axes, but there's just something about made in America and something just being huge and just destructive that just makes me want to buy more of these. And yeah, highly recommend without even having to do a chop on it. It's worth it to me. But that's it for the video, guys. I appreciate it. If this helped anybody decide if they want to look at Hoffman or even Gransfors Bruks at axes in the future, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Thanks.